I'd like to welcome you to the 2026 State of the Township Address. Thank you all for being here today. I'm Township Treasurer Leon Drolet. Thank you. But I have the honor of introducing our guest sponsor for this evening, Stacy Zarko with Connect Macomb. So Stacy, you want to come up and take over from here? All right.
Good afternoon. We are thrilled today to be outside under this big tent with beautiful weather tonight to celebrate the State of Macomb Township. Before we do that, I would like to introduce Brooke Posey to the stage, and if you could all stand, she is going to begin our afternoon with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. In the rockets of red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I want to give Brooke one more round of applause. She was amazing. On behalf of Connect Macomb, thank you so much for joining us today as we celebrate one of the fastest growing communities in our county. Macomb Township continues to be a place where families choose to build houses, businesses choose to invest, and leaders come to make opportunities for future generations. Frank had a vision today, and you will see his vision come to life in just a few minutes. I've decided that chartreuse is now my signature color. With us at Connect Macomb, our mission is simple. We're building community and growing business. Macomb Township embodies that mission every day through their planning, public services, their economic development, and the commitment to maintaining an excellent quality of life for both their residents and businesses alike. As we celebrate today, it is an opportunity for us to reflect on the accomplishments of Macomb Township in the past year, learn about a very exciting project on the horizon, recognize the partnerships that make progress like this possible. Projects like this and success in Macomb Township doesn't happen by accident, and it's the result of dedicated and collaborative elected officials, the township staff, business leaders, and community members, all working towards common goals. We're so grateful today for our sponsors, our partners, all of you for being here with us on just a gorgeous afternoon to make today possible. Your support not only strengthens this event, but the entire community. So I want to take a second to give a big shout out to our sponsors. Our presenting sponsor today for the first time, OHM. Many other sponsors today, AEW, Aloya and Associates, DTE, First State Bank, Fishbeck, MedStar, SMART, and TMR and Associates. If we could all give them a round of applause. And I know many of you on your way in had a chance to sample from our food sponsors, but we'd like to thank Parlor Donuts, currently open at 16 and DeQuinder in Sterling Heights, and fingers crossed by the end of 2026 at 21 Mile Road in Hayes in Macomb Township. So thank you, Christina, and your team. And also our friends from Sheetz, who put out a huge spread and also are keeping you all caffeinated, cool and caffeinated with your iced coffees this afternoon. They have 3 locations planned here in Macomb Township and the one opening at Hall Road in Gratiot very, very soon. So if you didn't have a chance to have some snacks on the way in, they will be here for you on the way out. And now it's my pleasure to introduce a leader who needs no introduction. Wait a second. No. Not this time, Mark. It's too warm for the state of the county. We need snow on the ground for that. So please join me this afternoon in welcoming Macomb Township Supervisor Frank Viviano.
All right, that's it. Thanks for coming. Well, I'm just going to leave that there for a minute. We're going to get back to that. I think it looks better already. What do you guys think?
You want a job with the public works?
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming to this year's State of Macomb Township address. Before I get started, I want to thank a few very special people. What do you, no. Sit. I told you we don't have a role for you this year. Sit down. You'll be fine. Candace, you keep an eye on him. So first off, Stacy Ziarko and the entire Connect Macomb team. Stacy's over here, thank you. We cannot do this without the help of our chamber partner. We do all of this silly, crazy stuff, and Stacy's always right there for it. So fantastic. Thank you, Stacy.
Once or twice.
She did say no to me once this year. The other people that have to put up with my craziness the most are the team in the supervisor's office, Beth Wheeler, Grace Lovins, Olivia Mazzola in particular, who really helped organize all this and did all the heavy lifting. So thank you, everybody. And then, doing this on site caused an immeasurable amount of work that we don't normally do for the DPW team and the Parks and Rec team. So thank you to everybody that pulled it off. And Brent, I'm sorry I destroyed your pretty barricade back there. I want to introduce our Board of Trustees. The teamwork and their support means everything. I know to me, and I know as a collective, we've all really enjoyed our time together and all the work that we've done. So I have Clerk Christy Posey, Treasurer Leon Gillette. We have Trustees Ron Papa, Frank Cusmano, Peter Lucio, and Charlie Oliver. So, and the entire township team, that's everybody. Everybody that works for the township, if you're here sitting down, please stand up. And I know there's some spread out. Go ahead, stand up if you work for the township. So, Literally, if it weren't for their hard work every day, I'd have nothing to talk about. And all of our success is their success. So thank you. Not you, Mark. Fine. And of course, all of you, our sponsors, our community partners, my fellow elected officials. If this past year has taught me anything, it's that when the challenges rear up that affect us all, when push comes to shove, there isn't anything we can't tackle if we're all pulling in the same direction. And I know there isn't a person in this tent today that I can't call for advice, support, or maybe just to commiserate. And I can't begin to put into words how invaluable those relationships are to me. But as grateful as I am that you've all come out today, I'm also more than a little irritated. See, I am. See, a few years ago, I made the mistake of buying into this ire of governtainment. And I completely blame Mayor Burnett over in Rochester Hills for that. And if you're not familiar, it's simply a way of adding a little bit of flair to what otherwise be a very dry status report on how Macomb Township is faring in 2026. And in trying to keep up with the Joneses, I have unfortunately created an expectation. And here I am once again in front of you in another ridiculous costume. I know everybody's probably figured this out, but who am I supposed to be? Everybody? Bob the Builder. And you might think that an unlikely source of inspiration for a state of presentation, but I bet you thought Sesame Street was too. The enduring appeal of Bob the Builder lies in his timeless values he promotes. All right, everybody do it with me. Can we fix it?
Yes, we can.
So what is that? What does that declaration really represent? It's optimism. It's pure, unadulterated optimism. Because Bob knows that with teamwork, problem solving, and perseverance, there is nothing that he and his friends can't tackle. And that spirit of optimism is essential in local government. And let's be honest, if we didn't have a touch of optimism, all of us would be, cowering under our desks. Municipal leaders face complex challenges every day, and success requires a willingness to tackle problems head on and a belief that solutions can be found through collaboration and hard work. And Bob also teaches us to take pride in our work because he knows that every project serves a purpose. And maybe most importantly to us, Bob shows us that every project is a commitment to building a better community. Because that is what we do, right? We are building our communities, and we do it in all kinds of ways. Who here drove past the construction site when they were driving out here today? All of you. Literally all of you. That's because for decades, Macomb Township has led the state in new housing and overall growth. Today, that trend continues. And as we sit here right now, there are 4,500 units, housing units, approved and in some stage of development here in Macomb Township. 4,500. And that's not just single family. Less than half of that is single family. It's actually a mix of apartments, condos, townhomes, senior housing. There are people in Lansing who think local government is a problem when it comes to the shortage of housing here in Michigan. But the numbers speak for themselves because we are the solution. Macomb Township and other successful municipalities like ours have proven time and again that we are ready to stand shoulder to shoulder with our development partners and landowners to make sure that projects are approved and move forward both timely and responsibly. We are one community out of nearly 1,800 in the state of Michigan, and our approved plans account for nearly 4% of what the state claims it needs to address its housing shortage. We accomplish that without Lansing preempting our community-based decision-making or silencing our residents. While Macomb Township continues to be the leader in housing in Michigan, there's no shortage of commercial development. Now, I don't know if any of you heard, but there's this little company who's been opening up locations around town. They're called Sheets. Anybody heard of Sheets?
No.
I hope you guys got some sandwiches and the iced coffees. I want to thank David back there for his partnership. It was they like Macomb Township so much, they're not just opening 1 or 2 locations. They are currently opening 3 locations here in Macomb Township. And the one set at Hall and Gratiot is set to open very, very soon. We're also excited about Parlor Donuts. Our partner, Parlor Donuts back there. So when their team was evaluating locations, they chose Macomb Township as their next one. And they're currently they're working on a location at 21 and Hayes right now, and the new building is going to be there. And we can't wait to be
there for your ribbon cutting, and I know that Treasurer Gillette has put dibs on being first in line. You know, there are brand new locations. I'm sorry, I skipped around. Speaking of ribbon cuttings, I went to 2 ribbon cuttings last week, and I did not have to go deep to find recent commercial development. Everything I'm talking about here is all within the last like 6 weeks. I went to 2 ribbon cuttings last week. One of them was to a company called Car Conservatory, and it's a concierge auto service business. They will come to you, pick your car up, bring it back to their shop, fix it, and deliver it back to you before the end of your day of business. How convenient. And the other one the next day I went to was called Extreme Cuts. Now this is a barbershop brand. It's their 2nd location. And not only is their service impeccable, but their build out is clean, it's inviting, and when you're waiting, you can shoot a game of pool because they have a pool table right inside. A large defense industry company made a big announcement a couple weeks ago. CQ2 Weapon Systems is expanding its advanced defense manufacturing operations in Macomb Township to address increasing domestic and international demand for U.S.-made weapon systems, optics integration, and tactical training services. Their 24,000 square foot expansion will bring about $23.7 million in capital investment and 136 new jobs right here in Macomb Township. And if you traveled north on Hayes to get here today, you have passed one of the coolest buildings ever to be built in Macomb Township. See, the team at Normandy Optical chose Macomb Township for its latest expansion, and we could not be more excited for them. Their future home will not only be functional, but this is truly a beautiful work of modern architecture and will undoubtedly be a standout along Hayes Road for many decades to come. And we actually grabbed a picture of it this week and blew it up just because we wanted everybody to see it. And on top of being located in Macomb Township, it was built by Macomb Township-based Quadrate companies. Now, Mike DiAugustini and the folks at Quadrate have added a lot to the fabric of our community over the years. They donated our Veterans Memorial, that's right over there in front of Town Hall, many years ago. They recently completed 2 projects simultaneously for the township. One was our 11,000 square foot expansion to our DPW building, and the other was a complete renovation of our oldest fire station, 40-year-old fire station down on 21 Mile Road. Not only did we add 2,700 square feet to that building, but all 11,000 square feet of it were renovated. We doubled the sleeping quarters. We added a room for turnout gear, new bathrooms and lockers, an update to the kitchen, many, many more improvements. We literally did not leave a single part of that building untouched. And it stands ready to serve our community for another 40 years, and hopefully many more. With all this building being done, and with more on the horizon, we continue to invest in our infrastructure. Roads and sidewalks shape how people move, interact, and access opportunities within their community. Roads connect neighborhoods with businesses, schools, and services. Sidewalks and pathways promote walkability, encourage healthy lifestyles, and most importantly, connect our residents with each other. Macomb Township continues to invest in both. We have invested $1 million annually into our sidewalk gap closure program, and we just completed our latest non-motorized plan to help us prioritize future investments. And the Board of Trustees just greenlit a feasibility study to look at yet another possible pathway that would connect Lucido River Park with other township parks and properties. And of course, we have to build and improve our water and sewer infrastructure to keep up with all this demand that this building is placing on our system. Now, water and sewer might not be the sexiest thing to talk about, but it's literally the lifeblood of every community. And nobody gives it much thought when it's working. But when it goes wrong, it's a crisis. Just ask the folks in Orion Township. It is critical that we maintain high standards of service for every customer on our system. And water and sewer is by far the largest part of our budget. I could list about a dozen current and planned multi-million-dollar projects to highlight that fact, but I just want to talk about one. The rebuild of MA01, Macomb 01, very creative name. But it's the township's primary pump station. It was completed just a few weeks ago. Now, unless you were around here in 1996, you probably don't know the significance of what we finally finished. See, in 1996, the original pump station was underground. And on January 31st of that year, during some routine maintenance, catastrophic failure claimed the lives of 4 men. Richard Bodeker and Russell Rocker were township employees. The other 2, Lawrence Spinks and David Krimhelmler, were contractors with the Weiss Construction Company. The new pump station is above ground and much safer, and the equipment in it will improve our water service system-wide. And that building is dedicated in the memory of those we lost. Now, I'm grateful that my board members and I are like-minded on one thing. Well, we're like-minded on a lot of things, actually, but one very important thing. We are all committed to leaving this place better than we found it. And I think we did that at MAO 1. But when it comes to building, and like the moving the dirt and the laying the bricks kind of building, I think the fun stuff for all of us are the projects that create places. And I'm talking about public places like our parks, our trails, our rec center, other amenities that we believe truly add richness and value to our community. These are things that help give our township character and improve the quality of life for our residents. And we've taken a lot of big swings in that arena over the last few years. Like we've added a couple of new parks to our inventory. We'll just leave that over there for a minute. This past year, we decided to focus on some of the details to make those parks even better. We added batting tunnels to every field at Macomb Corners, and they've been a huge hit. That was for you, Leon. Trees have been added throughout the township, including the pine tree over there that's nice and tall, and its twin is over in front of our rec center. And when we lose our somewhat of a Charlie Brown Christmas tree in Town Square, those are going to be our Christmas trees for tree lighting. And you may have noticed along 25 Mile Road a lot of new trees, and a tunnel of trees is being established along our McBride pathway that we built a couple of years ago. And all of this planting and development that we've been doing around these parks is just to add richness and value to what we already have. Our gardening group added a butterfly garden to Pitchford Park, and then when it all died, they put it all back. I want to thank them for commitment and their relentless effort to make that garden a reality. And later this year, cross your fingers, knock on wood, our Michigan DNR grant for our future boardwalk system at Little Cedar River Park will be finalized in this year's state budget, allowing us to get that project started next spring. Now, Cedar River Park is a key feature in our Greenway initiative that we've been building for the last few years. And if you recall, it's an effort to build a pathway system along the north branch of the Clinton River all the way through the township. And this year we closed on 4 more Greenway properties, 53 acres in total, all funded primarily with grant dollars. And one of them, we even built a new habitat for some of our area wildlife. Now, our newest public space, and part of the reason that you're all here today, is our soon-to-be new town square. And it will be built right there in front of Town Hall. This entire area was created with a certain vision in mind. And part of that vision included a traditional town square where our residents could come together to socialize and participate in community events and gatherings. Now, I will admit, this is not something I can take a lot of credit for, because since I was first elected, it was Clerk Posey who has pushed us to finally make this wish list item a reality. And it was Treasurer Gillette who went out and found the resources to make it happen in the form of an MEDC grant. Now, thanks to the two of them and to the Board of Trustees for greenlighting this project, by this time next year, that patch of grass will have a free interactive water feature for our kids to splash during the hot summer months, shady pergolas to relax under, restrooms, a space for our hockey rink to be set up every winter, and a new location for those community events I just mentioned. And at the center of it all, one very special feature. Now, in a few days, it'll be July 4th, and all over the country, the celebration of our 250th anniversary will be in full swing. And we here in Macomb Township decided we wanted to permanently commemorate this moment in history. So, ladies and gentlemen, actually, you can help me now. Yeah, come on. Yeah, no, you can.
Yes, thank you. I love you.
I know.
Oh, thank you. We're gonna put this. Oh, God, put it up on the easel.
Whoa.
When I tell you, you're going to take that one down, you're going to expose the one behind it. Yep, right on the ground.
Let me know.
Good job, buddy.
I'm waiting for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Macomb Township's Liberty Fountain. So, this traditional three-tier fountain will anchor our new public space, and permanently embedded in the lower bowl on a freestanding ring of metal will be the preamble to the United States Constitution.
Oh, wow.
You're done. Go on. Let's all give Mark a round of applause. Good job, Mark. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility. Well, that's all the space we had on the ring. But it's a fitting message from our founding fathers that will forever be memorialized in the heart of our town square. To form a more perfect union. In other words, to build stronger unity among the states. That's what they were doing. They were building something. Something very special. The founders of our country were the original builders. And everything we have is accomplished as a nation, as a state, and even as a local unit of government has been built upon their legacy. Some of the greatest minds in history already did the hard work 250 years ago, and we simply have to follow in their footsteps. Now, when I was writing this part of the speech, I reflected on that idea. And it struck me that I might not be the beacon of inspiration that has led to all the success the township has had lately. I know you're all as shocked as I am. But it's true. Because in reality, I am just the latest in a long line of builders that came before me, going all the way back to 1820, when the Ginocchio brothers became the first landowners in the history of Macomb Township so that they could build a better life for their families. In 1834, Flavius Greenleaf, James Meldrum, and Lucius Haskins became the first supervisor, clerk, and treasurer. And they must have had the optimism of Bob the Builder herself for taking on the challenge of building a community from scratch. And I'm thinking about changing my name to Flavius. Over the decades since then, and nearly 2 centuries actually, there have been so many people that have established roots here and added their time and talents to what Macomb Township would eventually become. A few weeks ago, we went to the 100th birthday celebration of Mike Young. Mark was there. And he's a resident down at Westwood, which is down next to our public safety building on 23 Mile Road. But Mike didn't move to Macomb Township recently. Mike lived all of his 100 years right here in Macomb Township, growing up on his family farm at 21 and North Avenue and working for the road department. Long before most of us on the current board were even alive, well, except Charlie. Oh, don't give me the ooh and ah. You should see all the stuff he says about me. Yeah, I just killed a puppy up there. It's daunting to think about how much more that we would need to accomplish to even come close to what Mike and others like him have done for Macomb Township. And when I think about it, I honestly just feel like a tourist compared to Mike. There are families that have been here for more than a century. The Shrams, the Schwartz, the Wiegans, the Malmbergs, many, many more. The Oljnicks. Oljnick Farms is about to celebrate its 100th anniversary. Another century farm from Macomb Township. And these people weren't just farming. These names show up in our histories as volunteer firefighters, as business owners, as supervisors, clerks, and treasurers, as trustees, planning commissioners. There are generations of Macomb Township residents that came before us who continued what was begun in 1834. And now my colleagues and I have the responsibility of building upon the work they did before us. I mentioned earlier that this area we are in was conceived with a certain vision in mind. See, the town hall and the rec center over there, they have an architectural style that's reminiscent of the early 1900s. And it's just not this immediate area. It's this entire square mile district, District 9 in our township. It's referred to as our town center district. This was intentioned to be patterned after the new urbanism movement. Now, new urbanism promotes walkable mixed-use developments and places an emphasis on comfortability and the sense of place that a community can inspire. And this style of development is usually organized around a main street. This vision is the whole reason we are out here today at the end of this road. But it wasn't my vision, and it wasn't the vision of anyone on the current board. because others built the foundation and left us with goals to achieve, and we are simply picking up where they left off. So joining us today are some very special guests. No. Former supervisors John Brennan, former supervisor Dan Spadafora, and former supervisor Janet Dunn. The Town Center District was conceived and adopted into our master plan during the tenure of former Supervisor Brennan, and it was advanced under former Supervisor Spadafora. And that library behind you, that project was championed by former Supervisor Dunn. All of them and the boards that they served with built our township to where we are today. And I want to thank you all for the work that you did in preparing us for this moment. Now, one of the missing pieces of this district is that Main Street that I talked about. It's what new urbanism uses as an anchor point. But all that ends today. Because behind me, Main Street Macomb is about to be born. Now, all around you, you see the banners, and you can see glimpses of what this area could become. And if you scan the QR codes that you'll see around, there's one up here and there's some in the back, you'll be able to see a complete, fully rendered digital fly-through of what this district will be, hopefully will be in the future. And I want to thank Zeke from OHM for all the work he did. I know he's not here today, but the OHM team should be proud of the work that they did there. This project is the culmination of decades of hard work. And it represents every aspect of building that we do in local government. And with today's groundbreaking, we are doing all those things at once. We're going to build a road. We're going to build sidewalks. We're going to build infrastructure. We're going to build a new place. Maybe most importantly, we are building community and we are adding to our culture. So before we get to the actual groundbreaking, I just want to leave you all with one last thought. Even though we're putting a lot of emphasis on Broughton Road today, the success of any municipality is never just a result of a single project or policy or investment, no matter how, not even one as big as this. Our success should not be measured by population numbers or economic indicators, but by the quality of life experienced by the residents and the sense of pride they feel in their hometown. That is ultimately why we are here and why we built. So with that, I'm going to ask my team to move the equipment out of the way. Now, while they finish getting ready, I want to say that this project is a little bit different. And the first people I really got to give credit for are Brian and his team at the Macomb County Department of Roads, because we very much pushed them out of their comfort zone. And to his credit, he never said no. He said a lot of other things, but he never said no. And eventually we worked through the details that we were able to come to an agreement on what this road will look like. It's going to be different. It's a boulevard street. It's got on-street parking. It's going to have 0 lot line buildings. They're going to be pushed up real close to the road. It's going to have landscaping and flower beds. It's going to have 4 roundabouts all within a half mile of each other, all built and designed to make this feel like a turn-of-the-century downtown, at least the modern version of it. We are blessed in Macomb Township to have a lot of amazing professional consultants. AEW, Fishback do amazing work for us. Carlisle Wortman is our planning consultant, and they were very instrumental in helping us develop this district, and they still are. And I got to give all the credit to OHM and their team. What an amazing piece of work they've done. And again, they had to put up with the 3 of us, because the 3 of us were me, Leon, and Christy, the 3 of us. We were very involved in this project from the beginning, at every meeting, at every decision, and we always cause them more work than they really want to do. But the end result has been great. Jim Van Tifflin, who has been shepherding our land development staff, really been before I even got there. This is a long time coming. Helped has helped shepherd us through this entire process. Told the three of us to stay out of it when we needed to stay out of it. Made sure everything kept going. So I'm so grateful for everybody that got us here today. From my former colleagues, supervisors, my current colleagues on the board, to all the professionals up here and the teams that you represent. We are thrilled that Dan's won the bid and they're going to build this road with us. I just want to thank them all. And at this moment, I'm going to let Mark Cackle take a shot at it.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all being here. Now I finally got the moment to say a few words, even though I wasn't allowed to earlier today. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not saying anything. I just have to get a microphone as I always do.
Bob the Builder. Can we fix it? Bob the Builder. Yes, we can. Scoop, Buck, and Dizzy, and Rolly too. Lofty and Wendy join the crew. Pilchard and Bird, Travis and Spud, playing together like good friends should. Bob the Builder. Can we fix it? Bob the Builder. Yes, we can. Hey, time to get busy, such a lot to do. Building and fixing till it's good as new. Bob and the gang have so much fun. Working together, they get the job done.